Bonsoir, mes amis. Welcome back to Monaco. Last time, the pickpocket made off with his filthy lucre. This time, the gentleman will be doing much the same thing. This level starts off pretty interesting. You're given one key to work with, and there are 3 key doors that lead out of the room you start in. The key doors are the only way to make it out of this room. All 3 key doors eventually lead to the same area, but I really feel like it might be more interesting if the key doors were the only way to get to certain areas aside from ladders or digging. It's just an idea I feel like would be more interesting if it was more devoted to, so to speak. Still, down here on the bottom level we see the extent of the gentleman's crime empire. We've got corpse disposal, weapons disposal, up here we've got a doctor. In addition to, well, this guy just seems to get around. He's got his fingers on a lot of pies. Down here we have the document forging. But the real piece de resistance is down here on the bottom right. All of these lasers are attached to a block of C4, and if you trip one, they will all go off. It's really fun. I haven't really been able to find an effective way to take care of this security system without blowing it apart, but luckily C4 is made available right here, so it's almost like it was intended to happen. By blowing up that laser right there, the C4 is not affected, but this single block was attached to that laser beam. So by removing that laser beam, I no longer have to worry about that block blowing up. It's the only way I can think of to really create an effective smokescreen here. If you were playing the hacker, I imagine you could get enough viruses rolling and you'd be able to break in there no problem, but I'm not playing the hacker. Last time we discussed the possibility of different theories on how many thieves there are at any point during the heisting. Last time we mentioned there were maybe 5 thieves, but I'd like to raise the possibility that at one point there were 8 thieves. Presuming that the mole is the locksmith we see who is chatting with Inspector Voltaire, I would still like to put forth the theory that the locksmith, the mole, or the locksmith, the pickpocket, and the lookout were all separate characters at one point. My main reason for this is pointing out the beginning of the story. When we start from the prison break and the lockout and the locksmith story, the only time he really starts narrating his tale to Inspector Voltaire is after the boat blows up. Now, my reasoning for this is that you could consider the entire time the lookout, the locksmith, and the pickpocket are trying to make their way through no problem, but it seems awfully convenient to me that once the boat blows up, you would suddenly maybe lose some of your people. It's just a small little detail, but up until that point, the lookout, locksmith, and the pickpocket are only talking to each other, aside from when they interact with the last 4 criminals. It's a very small thing, but it seems suspect to me that the locksmith would only just then start narrating his story to Inspector Voltaire, saying, "I'm not sure what happened, all I remember is an explosion," whereas before he was just relaying events as they happened, or as they happened to him. Also, considering what we know as a possibility from the Origins missions, the mole was originally in the prison block with the four thieves. As a matter of fact, he dug the tunnel that the four thieves took out. As the thieves are making their way out through the escape tunnels, it's very obviously a mole hole that's dug to let them out. It's possible that from the mole's origin story onwards, he was a plant inside the prison to find four lackeys, so to speak. Four people who could be used to maybe firm up an alibi. Then, once they ran to a convenient time to get rid of the bodies, either at the explosion area with presumably the cleaner or the mole, I still think the cleaner is in on this gig. And he could easily put someone to sleep on an exploding boat, or you have the mole with Freedom Spoon, who likely knows a way or two around some violent options himself. The other possibility I could see there is that the bodies are not created, or the first four thieves are not, three thieves, are not killed until the club in the pickpocket story. Since there are four bodies and they're DNA tested and they don't match up to David and his entourage, so to speak. What if the possibility is that the first four thieves were killed just to throw the investigators off the track? It's just a possibility. Luckily, a lot of the security in this entire area is sort of diffused by liberal application of C4, which I can appreciate. Sometimes it feels a bit cheap to just kind of blow everything up as compared to doing it quote-unquote the right way, but, well, I'm sure I'll forgive myself when I'm counting my money. So, if you consider the possibility that there are 8 thieves to begin with, and at some point they're narrowed down to less than 8, the question is, 1, which thieves are killed? And 2, why are they killed? I still maintain that the most logical reason I can think of is for some sacrificial lambs. Maybe so that they have some bodies to pin the crime on, some, something to match up all the physical evidence to. Or maybe just so they have extra bodies to get rid of once they hit the nightclub. The gentleman's been planning this for a while, considering that the mole and the cleaner just so happen to be in the right groups. So, I consider it possible, but I don't know how likely it is. This top area right behind the piano lounge, the illegal gambling, is probably the most dangerous in the area aside from that very first vault. There's already a lot of bodies in there, so you can tell somebody already ran into a problem up there. But, as before, with a little bit of creative use of explosives, yours and otherwise, you can definitely take care of a lot of the guards and problems here. That's all for now. Please join me next time when we take another fond look at the redhead.